Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a great day. It is Friday, 2 days before the AFC NFC Championship game. I know we've got weather coming in. I hope everybody is prepared. I hope everybody is safe. I hope everybody is following this storm. That is my major concern. I want you guys to be prepared for what is to come with this storm. I know my family and I are, but we have a great weekend of football with the Denver Broncos and the New England Patriots in the AFC Championship game and the Seattle Seahawks and the Los Angeles Rams in the NFC Championship game. And these are going to be two very good games, in my opinion. Now, when you look, everybody's talking about the Broncos and Patriots. Hardly anybody, and I mean anybody on Twitter or YouTube or TikTok, anywhere you go, is hardly talking about the Rams and Seahawks. So let's talk about them for a little bit. The last time the Rams and the Seahawks played, the series is split 1-1. The Rams won in LA, the Seahawks won in Seattle, but only by a point. Now, this game will be played in Seattle. We know how loud that crowd can be. We know how loud the 12s are. We don't know what Sam Darnold you're going to get, right? Are you going to get the performance that you got against the 49ers where Sam Darnold just had to go out there and barely play? Or are we going to get a game where Sam Darnold is going to have to keep pace with Matthew Stafford, who, in my opinion, is the MVP of the league? So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens in this game, how it plays out, and how it goes forward. So I'm very interested to see how this game is played. We also have the Ravens hiring a head coach, the defensive coordinator from the Chargers, Jesse Minster. We also know that Lamar wants Cliff Kingsbury to be his next offensive coordinator. So I want to see. Mateo, what's going on, my brother? So it's going to be interesting to see how all this plays out in Baltimore, right? So it's going to be interesting to see. Good morning, mamas. So you've got, good morning, Apostle. You've got a defensive coordinator going into Baltimore to be their head coach, right? So you have a defensive minded guy going to be the head coach of the Baltimore Raiders or Baltimore Ravens. What's up, Zach? Um, and you, of course, you have Lamar Jackson there in that offense with Derrick Henry. So, in my opinion, bringing in a defensive minded guy to be your head coach means he's either going to run the defense or be leaning heavier more to the defense. So you got to bring in the right offensive minded coordinator to get that offense moving with Lamar Jackson, with Derrick Henry. So it's going to be very interesting. How many carries do I think Dobbins will get this game? I think they're going to split it pretty much even. Um, so what's up, Ghost? How about them Broncos? Absolutely, we're in a game that nobody thought we were going to be in. So it's great to see that. But like I said, with the Ravens, they're going and getting a defensive-minded head coach really shocked me for the Ravens. Again, we know the Ravens of old, right? The Ravens of the 90s, late 90s when they became a team, but the Ravens of the 2000s when they won their Super Bowl were a defensive-heavy team, right? They were a defensive-minded team. Now you go and get now you go, right, but you got to have an offense that gets you there. So getting a defensive-minded guy is going to really turn around that defense, but you've got to get the the Texans proved that theory wrong. Uh, so you got to get the right offensive mind in there to get that offensive flowing. I mean, the offensive, again, like I said for that game with the Texans and the Patriots, CJ Stroud didn't have to win that game, but he didn't need to, he couldn't lose them that game, and he absolutely did. CJ Stroud is, good morning, what's going on? CJ Stroud is the reason why they lost that game. 4 turnovers, 4 interceptions, 1 pick six in the first half. That's why. That is why the Texans lost that game. Let's put it out there. Let's clear the slate and let's tell it as it is. The reason why the Patriots won that game, or you could say the reasons why the Texans lost that game, is because of 4 interceptions. I mean, you caused 2 fumbles. Your defense called 2 fumbles. Now, I'm not counting the interception. That was at the end of the half. That was a Hail Mary. It was a punt. I don't agree with it, right? I don't like that as an interception stat. So I'm not going to put that on Drake May because that is just there's no time left. It means absolutely nothing. It was a Hail Mary, boom, done. I don't even count that as an interception. But your defense caused their quarterback to fumble a couple times. Well, that's going to be the interesting thing because there was a bunch of teams that wanted to sign him before the Broncos signed him to the 2-year, $12 million deal. So if they do, it'll have to be through a trade. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's focus on this week. Right, he doesn't have the zip. Well, there's two things. He does. Hold on, hold on. I'm gonna hold on. Before we go on, hold on. He actually does have a stronger arm than Bo Nix on the deep passes. Not the zip. Like the Elway zip. We've heard of the Elway cross. Oh, I don't know if a lot of you have heard of the Elway cross. So I'll tell you the quick story. When Elway came in the league, he threw the football so hard that when it hit your pads, it actually left the cross of the football mark. Right? So they called it the Elway cross. But Stidham does have a strong arm. Now, what he does not have that Bo has is the escapability. Right? He doesn't have it. Let's see here, Armchair, would you consider CJ Stroud is still better than Bryce Young? Oh, man. Okay, so here's a couple things. It'll be go Patriots. There we go. Pass gonna roll, not gonna be pretty with back of a quarter. All right, let me ask a question, and I want to hold on. And I know you're a Patriots fan. What makes you so confident that you're going to win this game? Is it just because the Broncos have a backup quarterback? Okay. Well, let's talk about that. You went up against a top. Hold on. Only. I'm not making an excuse. You know I will never do that. This is not excuse. This is facts. You went up against a very tough Chargers defense, which they absolutely wrecked you guys. But the problem was you were going up against a very depleted Chargers offense. That's nor here nor there. That is facts and that is stats. Then you go up against the Texans. And I had said going into this game that if the Texans wanted to win, not that they were going to win, that if they wanted to win, CJ Stroud was going to have to go in this game knowing he did not have to win this game, but he could not lose it. What that means is you got to be responsible with the ball. You've got to be careful with the ball. You can't turn it over. And CJ Stroud went into this game trying to play hero ball. He 100% did. And we know that the Texans had the worst offensive line in the NFL. Now you're not only going up against the second toughest defense in the NFL, but you're also going up against the number one offensive line in the NFL. But when you look at that Texans game, it was a close game going into halftime, right? What was it, 13-10, 17-10, something like that? And let's look at the Texans versus Pittsburgh, right? Let's go back 1 week, right? We're going to talk about the Patriots against the Chargers. Well, let's talk about the Texans versus the Steelers. Did the Texans defense absolutely shut Pittsburgh down? Yes. Did their offense do anything? No. And when he went into this game, I had said it all week long going into this game that it was going to be a great game. Let me say this, and this is what I've been saying. It's the same thing I'm going to say as last week. Stidham does not have to win this game. Stidham does not have to win this game. He just can't lose. He just can't lose it. You're going up against the number one offensive line in the NFL. I don't know where you guys think you're going up against a Shlamio of an offensive line. I don't get it. I just don't get it. So 3 for 14. No, you cannot. So okay, so you're saying the Patriots are hold on, you're saying the Patriots are going to clean up their problems, but you're saying the Broncos have too many problems to win. I don't get I get you love your team, and I love mine. And again, for everybody new here, I've got to make this perfectly clear before you think I'm some delusional fan, which I'm not. But everybody who's new here, I always say the same thing. This is a football channel first. Bronco channel second, right? I care about the football. When it comes to this channel, it's all about football. All 32 teams, all the owners, everybody in New York that deals with the NFL first. Then I go with my team. So that's why I study every team. Good morning, Brandon. I study every team. I study every general manager. The Patriots have one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL in Christian Gonzalez, who I really like. But you are also going up against the defending Defensive Player of the Year, Pat Surtain. And on top of that, you might be going up against the Defensive Player of the Year, Nick Bonito. You also got to remember, your offensive line has given up 10 sacks through 2 games in the playoffs. Your offensive line and offense have fumbled the ball 6 times and lost 3 of them. Now, again, I'm only going to give Drake May 1 interception in the playoffs. I am not giving him the one against the Texans. I will not do that. I do not like that stat. That is one thing that really bothers me about the NFL is when Hail Mary interceptions count as an interception, and when the ball hits a wide receiver, when the ball hits the wide receiver hands and where it's a catchable ball, but he doesn't catch it and it ends up in a defender, I do not think that should be an interception on the quarterback. I think that needs to be on a turnover on the receiver. Those are 2 stats that I absolutely cannot stand. I love Patriots fans, man. You guys are worse than Eagles fans, and I love you so much for it. All right, let me ask you this question. Vince. If you lose, what's your excuse going to be? I don't bet money. My brother. I never have. Well, let me rephrase that. When I was 10 years old, I bet $1 with a buddy of mine for the Broncos and Redskins game because he was a family friend. No. No, I don't. I don't. Neither one. No, I'm going to tell you, neither one. And I'm going to be honest, neither one. Come on, think about this real quick, guys. Come on, be logical. I get you're a fan, and I love you for it. That's what this channel is about. It's about fans, and I love you for it. But please be honest with yourself. Your offense has played like shit through 2 games in the playoffs. So are the Denver Broncos. And you're going in, giving up 6 fumbles, losing 3, 10 sacks, and 2 interceptions. Is McDermott... Okay, hold on. Before we get into this, I got to answer a question in the chat. McDermott is in Pittsburgh. They are interviewing him, but there has been no announcement that he is going to be the next head coach. Now, he is the favorite to be the next head coach in Pittsburgh. And so is Mike McCarthy. So it's kind of tied between Sean McDermott and Mike McCarthy. They're like neck and neck on who could be the next Steelers head coach. We don't know. We know that the Steelers are doing their due diligence when it comes to this. So I think this could actually drag out with the Steelers going into the Super Bowl or possibly past the Super Bowl. I think they are trying to do due diligence on who's going to fit the Steelers and what they're going to do, right? The Steelers have a lot of questions going into next year. I mean, a lot. What are you doing at quarterback? What are you doing at running back? What are you doing at wide receiver? How are you going to fix this so-called dominant defense for the Steelers? So whoever comes in is going to be the head coach. They have a lot of questions that need to be answered. And the key number one is, are we bringing Aaron Rodgers back? Are we going with Will Howard? Or are we going to go with somebody in free agency? So they really don't know. And you, when I look at the Steelers, because again, my dad is a diehard Steeler fan. You've got to look at the guy that can come in and right the ship, right? And when I mean that, yeah, the Steelers had 19 straight winning seasons, but you only went to 2 Super Bowls and won one. On the last, I don't know how many playoffs you went to, you were one and done. So you got to get the right guy to come in and right the ship. So we'll have to wait and see. Yes. 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 If he doesn't take the Buffalo job, he will be the offensive coordinator for the Los Angeles Chargers, Mike McDaniels. If he does not take the Buffalo job, he will be the offensive coordinator. And that's cool for the Chargers to do that. They're like, hey, we want to hire you as our OC, but we understand that the Bills want to interview you as a head coach prospect. So go ahead, go do your interview. If you like it, take it. If not, this job is still yours, right? And I absolutely like that. Let's see here. Denver's D is gonna have to score and keep it close. Hope they win. I'm just not gonna. It's just not gonna happen. What's the weather going to be like? Right now, they're saying it's supposed to be around like 28 degrees in Denver, something like that at kickoff. What do I think about the Titans? Oh man. Okay, the Titans, real quick. I know everybody wants to. I know everybody wants to talk about the Patriots Broncos, but hold on. I gotta answer these questions. What the Titans did bringing in Robert Salas, I like it. I mean, he's going to run your defense. Um, you did, I believe you did hire offensive coordinator. I can't remember who it is right now off the top of my head. But Brian Daboll is your offensive coordinator, which I absolutely love. And you're going to go in with a second-year quarterback, Cam Ward, right? The number one overall draft pick in the 2025. So the Steelers did hire Sean McDermott. That's pretty cool. Well, I guess that petition by the Buffalo Bills fans went nowhere, like I said it would in my video. I mean, you got to think, guys, that's pretty cool to have 40,000 plus fans sign a petition to the owner of the Buffalo Bills. Like, hey, bring this dude back. What's up, Tice? I don't like cold games because I feel like players don't play their best because it's cold and they don't want to be there, just how I feel. I love cold games. I absolutely do. I love snow, cold games. I think that's what makes football football. You remember the Ice Bowl, right? Dallas Cowboys, Green Bay Packers, the Fog Bowl. The Mud Bowl between the Miami Dolphins and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, the Blizzard Bowl in Buffalo. I mean, there are so many great cold weather games out there, but we're taking one. I remember the Minnesota Vikings versus the Seattle Seahawks at the University of Minnesota Golden Gopher Stadium, where it was like, what, negative 20 degrees with wind chill? That is football. That is what makes football, but we're going away from it, right? We're going to these nice, cozy, climate-controlled domes and all that, and we're taking what made football great out. We're taking it out. Now, I get it, right? That as a fan perspective, right? As a fan, we love it, but you got to imagine you're an owner, you're putting $3 billion down to build a stadium. You want that stadium used more than 9 weeks a year. You want Super Bowls, you want Final Fours, you want WrestleMania, you want concerts. I understand. You want that thing to make money. But the main purpose of that stadium is supposed to be for football. It's supposed to be for football. And you're taking what makes football great in December, January, and February out of it. And I don't like it. Again, but that's my fan perspective. But, you know, if I were to put my owner hat on, I understand it. I may not like it, but I understand it. Absolutely, DeAndre. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate it. Thank you, DeAndre, brother. I appreciate it. Well, the line of the game actually moved back up to 5.5 to New England. Are you crazy to think the Rams could beat the Seahawks? Absolutely not. Game is going to be in 45-degree weather. It's supposed to be clear, maybe partly cloudy, no major storms coming in. So, no, I mean, again, both games that the Rams and Seahawks played this year were really, really close. The Rams won in LA and the Seahawks won in Seattle only by a point. And if that's not mistaken, that was the game where they had to score 2 or 3 2-point conversions to win. So it's not as far as people think, right? It's not past the realm of reality to think that maybe, just maybe, the Rams can go into Seattle and beat them. It's gonna be tough. Anybody going into Seattle in the playoffs, it's tough. But the big thing, in my opinion, when it comes to Seattle, because again, nobody is talking about Seattle and the Rams, and I don't understand why. The big thing is Sam Darnold. If the game has to rely on him, I'm worried as a Seahawks fan. But if I could get K9 to run for 120, 152 touchdowns, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Absolutely. Go ahead, brother. You got the floor. Hold, hold on. What do you got? I agree. No, brother, he did great, but can I give? I'm not going to make an excuse. I'm not making an excuse for the Texans at all because they play like crap on offense. But when that defense was on the field and were put in bad positions because of that offense, it's not like the Patriots moved 80 yards down the field to score those touchdowns. We got to be honest. When your core, I mean, you can play top tier defense all day long. They were tired. I mean, what another thing I said. No, you're correct, and this is what I said going into the game, and I was laughed at. I said the I I said this weather was going to play a factor in this game, and everybody laughed at me. Oh, they're pros. They got cold weather gear. It does not matter. When you have a southern team that plays in a dome going all the way to the northeast in a snowstorm, it's gonna affect you. It was the same thing with the Rams going to Chicago. You had the west coast of the west coast teams in LA practicing in 80-degree weather, going to Chicago, playing in what the hell is this crap? I heard about that defensive coordinator position for the Cowboys. I don't know. Trevor Lawrence did throw 3 touchdowns against the Texans. The only thing is the Texans came back and won. That was the game. That was the game that Davis Mill had to play out of his absolute mind in the fourth quarter. I'm sorry, Bryce. I'm sorry to bring it up, brother. I know it hurts, but that was the game where they gave up, what was it, 16, 19 points in the fourth quarter for the Texans, and General Mills to come back and win. I know. I love the Jaguars. I love Trevor Lawrence and Liam Cohen. That defensive coordinator hire in Dallas, I really don't know who. Isn't it like some sort of position coach from the Eagles? I saw that and I'm like, okay. No, that Dallas's defense is going to have to go over a complete rehaul. No, nope. I've been complaining about that all year, my brother. People who've been on this channel with me all year has heard me bitch, moan, and complain about that offensive line not holding their blocks. Okay. Okay, but let me ask you. Guy, hold on, before the hold up before this goes off the rails. Who was the least sack quarterback in the NFL? Who was the bone? Okay, okay. Hold on, guys. I'm guys. I I have I no hold on because I study the all 22 film. There are parts of the game that absolutely boggle my mind when it comes to this offensive line. Yes, Bo Nix's ability to move around in the pocket and scramble, yes, but Stidham can do the same thing, just not as good. But when we talk about the Patriots being this ultimate team, the one thing I come back with is you had a 24-3 lead against the Buffalo Bills in your house and you lost. Oh man, Bills Mafia, I ain't got an opening, brother. I wish I did. No, it's hold up before we go off the rail. Hold up. Only who are you responding to? Only are you responding to me or D? No, who are you responding to? You're okay, so you're responding to me. Okay, thank you. I just needed to know who you were responding to, my brother. So, so tell me hold up. I'm not using the excuse. I'm not, hold up, my brother. I'm going to respond to that because I ain't going to use the excuse of players being hurt. The Denver Broncos beat the number one. Hold up. All right, land your plane. Land your plane. Land your plane. Land that plane, brother. Land that plane. Yeah, you won by 3. Okay, no, hold on, guys. Let him land this plane. I need to hear it. Okay, 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 okay. Hold on. Come on, Oli. Land that plane, brother. Come on. What do you got? All right, let him land it, guys. Okay, okay. Now I'm gonna now. Okay, because I'm gonna bring it up like hold on, my brothers, hold on, because I'm gonna take that plane right off the runway. The Denver Broncos played the number one offense in the NFL without the reigning defensive player in the NFL, Pat Surtain, and we won that game. And the game after that, and the game after that, and the game after that. We beat the Kansas City Chiefs coming off of a bye week without having players. Not having players is you all have heard me say it. It's part of the game because of the CBA. We have not had our number one running back J.K. Dobbins for how long? And we're in the AFC Championship game. Backup quarterback in AFC Championship game that hasn't played well in years. Enough said. No, I'm sorry, brother. Harvey is not better than Dobbins. Harvey is still young and needs to learn to quit bouncing it outside. Oh, I do have an opening. I'm coming. I'm coming. Hold on. Let him finish his comments, guys. Come on. Land that plane, user. Land that plane. Guys, we don't hold on. Before this goes off the rails, because I know it's where it's gonna go, I'm gonna say something that's really gonna take it off the rails. Do not bring up that stats. Don't bring. Hold on. Let me do this because I know this is about to take it off the rails, and I'm just gonna sit back and let it go because that's why I'm gonna say it. If you bring up stats like that, if you bring up, oh well, we beat this team by that much, we beat that team by that much, we beat. I'm not done. Hold on, D. I'm gonna take it off the rails right now, and your guys are gonna love it. You lost to the worst team in the NFL who has the number one draft pick. What's up, AK? Oh, Mo, I say that to get the chat go crazy. That's why I say it, brother. That's all. I just do it to get that chat to go. What's up, Blake? Morning. Guys, you guys are still. I'm bringing you up, white boy. You guys are still talking all over each other, guys. We got to try to stop that, please. What's up, white boy? I don't have any other openings. When I get an opening, I'll bring you in, brother. I promise. Oh, we got a Seahawks fan. Go ahead. Hold on. No, I just wanted to hear about Seahawks fan. That's all. All right, there we go. All right, go ahead, Bryce. Oh, Quinn, I'm sorry, brother. When I get an opening, I'll bring you right back up. I promise. I don't think they heard you, Bryce. Bryce, I don't think they heard you. I accidentally talked over you. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bryce. When they're healthy, well, Glenn, nobody's in the Super Bowl right now, my brother. I think there's three. Okay, before we go, hold on. But before this, hold on. I know. Hold up. Only the real stay alive knows what I'm about to say because I've been saying it all week. I don't care about strength of schedule. I don't like it. I don't like it, but I get what you're saying, over 500 in the season. Please do not bring up the strength of schedule because I think that is a horrible, horrible stat to say because you're going off of last year's win-loss records. Oh, you're welcome. I've been saying that about everybody. I can't stand that conversation. Jaeger, I would love that. Jaeger! I like that, Blake. I think that's going to be interesting if they hire him. I mean, hold on, guys, hold up, time out, time out, time out. I want to address this real quick in the chat so everybody knows what I'm talking about. They're saying that Philip Rivers is interviewing for the head coach of the Buffalo Bills. I think that would be very interesting. I'm just going to put it out there. If Philip Rivers goes in as a head coach, because he's already been a head coach, I get it, it was high school. But Philip Rivers to come in as a head coach for the Buffalo Bills, I think that would be a cool thing to do. Just saying, that's my intake. Oh, dude, yeah, we can't say that word. Can't say that word. Okay, yeah, we can't say that word. Oh, I do. Yeah, we do. It won't mean I'm okay. Before all the Patriots fans go off on this, hold up. Before all the Patriots fans go off on this, it won't mean jack crap. It won't mean anything. it won't mean anything because how I look at it is, are the Patriots the same team as they were in 2024? Are the Patriots in 2025 the same team? Are the Patriots in 2026 going to be the same team in 2025? Are the Broncos going to be the same team in 2026 that they are in 2025? Are the Broncos the same team from 2025 to 2024? No, they're not. Every year, everything changes because you got to think about this. The Broncos are going to have a ton of cap space next year because they're carrying all that dead cap from Russell Wilson. So that's going to be gone. So they'll have money to play with and bring other people in that they couldn't bring in. The Patriots, right? Let's say the Patriots lose. I'm just putting it out there, not to be a hater, but let's say they lose. Doesn't that make one free agents to go up to go like, wait a minute? Drake May's a good quarterback. In the second year, he got his team to the AFC Championship. Mike Vrabel, Sean McDaniels, man, I think I could play with that team. Call up my agent. Hey, see what they want to do to bring me in. It allows your team. To bring in better talent and free agency. So. Okay, let me ask this question. Let me ask this question. Does everybody else get this feeling from sports media, NFL media, that they think that the NFC is winning the Super Bowl, no matter who it represents the NFC? I just wanted to see if I was the only one feeling that. Thanks, Oz. Why can you only say let's say the what? Why can you say let's say the Broncos? I can say any team, my brother. Yeah, Sam Darnold, I think, only has one touchdown pass. Sammy D. No, he did. I mean, when you're up 17-0 in the first quarter, you're like, your head coach is going, Darnold, hey, you know how your stomach hurt you? We're going to really hurting you, and K9's getting the ball. I mean, yo, you and your home pumpkin fans aren't. You know what? Hold on. I want to take that one. Can I please take that one because it's going to be funny? If Sam Darnold and the Seattle Seahawks win the Super Bowl, everybody in Minnesota is going to be lining up at that giant Viking ship and going, "What the hell were you thinking?" They're going to be like, "Do you see what just happened? Do you see what just happened? You let this guy go." Oh, it's going to be great. That was a joke, my brother. That was a joke. If the Seattle Seahawks win the Super Bowl, my life is going to be pure hell until August. Because my son-in-law is a Seahawks fan. D knows what I'm talking about. D knows. Don't say that. Don't say that, man. Do not say that the Broncos are going to play the Seahawks in the Super Bowl because my birthday is 2 days or 3 days after the Super Bowl, and we're holding my birthday party during the Super Bowl. My son-in-law is going to be there. Do you know how much hell I'm going to get in that game? The 48-8 or 42-8. Anytime, brother. Thank you for coming up, man. I do appreciate it. Oh, come. Let's. I think K9 has been running great. I really do. Okay, window. Hold on, guys. Let me answer the chat. Window. The biggest weakness, in my opinion, for the New England Patriots is their offensive line. It's their offensive line. I've been all right, Tanner. How you been? Broncos have 5 wins against backup quarterbacks and 2 wins against Geno Smith and 2 against rookies. Hey, a win's a win, Mo. I would have loved to have seen the Texans in the Super Bowl. I had that done, Roddy. It's fine when it happens, but afterward, it's weird. Guys, look, the Seattle Seahawks. Hold on. This is what I just said. The Seattle Seahawks of 2025 are completely different from 2024. Yes, you may have some new, same players, some new players. The reason why I say they're different is because coaching changes. Coordinators, schemes, free agency, all that changes the team. When you bring in a free agent, you might have to tweak. You might have to tweak your offense here or there, right? You brought in Sam Darnold. You had to tweak your offense, right? You had to change your offense around to more fit Sam Darnold. Every year is different. Year to year, it's different. Nothing stays the same. Nothing does. I know you are, my brother. I have no rooting interest in these games. I just hope they're great games down to the wire. I hope they're not down to the wire. My heart can't take that. Who's your dad? White boy, who's your dad's team? Nice. So he's back to the Kurt Warner St. Louis Rams days. Against the Titans, the greatest show on turf. That's awesome. That had to be fun. I'm gonna be honest. I wanted Cincinnati to win as well, only because they never won a Super Bowl. Right, right. Yes, I do. Right. I get what you're saying, D. I hope it's an Orange Crush, brother. Morning, BMW. I hope we got it. I really do. I don't know, Revan. Oh, yeah, Trey McBride is an amazing tight end. Oh, I knew that was coming, Justin. They had talked about it a couple. Hold on, guys. Justin, they had talked about that a couple days ago about releasing Coleman. Hey, arguing over WWE is fun. We win in the Super Bowl. People forget how. It took me a second. It took me a second. No, BMW. A lot of people do talk over each other. You just got to try to decipher it. The Bills are talking about the last time I knew the Bills are talking about releasing that Coleman. I haven't heard that they've done it. Yeah, that's what we're hearing. Somebody wanted to ask me a question though. Somebody on here wanted to ask me a question. Well, that doesn't surprise me at all. That's not good, BMW. You will be in my prayers, brother. Hey, you're good, brother. You're good. I haven't heard much about my brother except that he's in a care facility. Same to you, BMW. Same to you, my brother. Well, thank you for the follow, Javier. All right, Quentin, what do you got? No, Drakeman's not a. No, he's not. He's a second-year player. No, 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 no. No rookie quarterback has ever been to the Super Bowl. No, no rookie quarterback has ever been. Yeah, second year. No rookie quarterback has ever started the Super Bowl in the history of all 60 years. If we win, we win. We don't, we don't. We weren't even supposed to be here. I'm again answering two chat. I'm answering two chats. Yes, yes, the way they built that stadium. No, I agree. Tony, I know about that. I know, no, I know, Tony, that no head coach has ever won a Super Bowl for two teams. I know that. How, like, Peyton Manning and Tom Brady are the only two quarterbacks in NFL history to win a Super Bowl for two teams, and that Kurt Warner was the first quarterback, I believe, to go to a Super Bowl with two different teams, but he didn't win them both. He only won one. What job with the Eagles? The OC job, probably because of the reason. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Let me answer this question in the chat. Me, Metal Mike. It could be because of the reports we're hearing coming out of Philly about the dysfunction with the offense, with Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown and stuff like that. There's a lot of rumors coming out of Philadelphia about what's going on behind the scenes, so we really don't know what is true or not. I mean, look at the Browns. Nobody wants to take that job, which is understandable. Look at Buffalo; they're having a hard time filling that position. There you go. Nobody wants to take the Raiders job, right? You're going into these situations with so much uncertainty. I think the Raiders are going to get Kubiak as well. What's going on, guys? So, all right, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that, right? The Browns, okay, Tyson, the Browns kind of have a good team, but if you're a head coach going in the Browns, you're going in with a huge quarterback problem. Do you go with Shedeur Sanders? Do you go with Dylan Gabriel? Do you go with your $135 million quarterback that's coming off an injury? Do you put that $135 million quarterback on the bench? You're going into a problem. You're going into a problem where the owner, Jimmy Haslam, has absolutely screwed this team up. He has. And now you're going to have to deal with that. What do we do with Deshaun Watson? What do we do with Shedeur Sanders? What do we do with Dylan Gabriel? Right? You're also going to go in with your running back coming off of injury. You got to figure out, are we cutting a couple of our tight ends? David Njoku, is he gone? Is he staying? You have a lot of problems there. And when you look at the Raiders, you're kind of going into the same thing. You're kind of going into the same thing with the Raiders because okay, so let's talk about this real quick. Sticks and sticks. You got the number one draft pick. We know that it's going to be Mendoza out of Indiana, or as we're hearing from PFT, they're going to send a king's ransom. They're going to send a king's ransom to Baltimore for Lamar Jackson. So let's take option two. Let's take option two for an instance. And I was talking to my wife about this because she asked me the same question. So say you're going in as the Raiders' new head coach, right? And your owner, Baby Davis, is going to be sending most likely 3 to 4 number ones, 3 number twos, a number 3, and even maybe Max Crosby to the Ravens for Lamar Jackson. So now you're your new head coach. You just lost your entire future for 3 years. For 3 years. How are you supposed to build this team? Now let's look at on the flip side. We don't trade for Lamar. We're drafting Mendoza out of Indiana. Cool. We still got to build an offensive line for him because if not, he's going to be the most sacked quarterback in the NFL or he's going to get hurt. So we got to focus on the offensive line. Oh, by the way, we traded Myers away, our wide receiver, Jacoby Myers. So we got to bring in more wide receiver help. We got to make sure that what we're going to do with Max Crosby, is he going to want to say, is he want to go? There is so much dysfunction in the Raiders organization right now that it's not a like bling, bling, bling head coaching job. And on top of that, they just fired a head coach who was only there a year. A year. I hope he does, man. I hope Stidham does get the job done, but we'll have to wait and see. All right, white boy, go look it up. And hold on. I'll look it up for you. I'll look it up. Hold on. Let me look it up. You guys say 2001, right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When was it? 2001? 2021? All right, let's see here. In 2021, the Los Angeles Rams defeated the Seattle Seahawks 30 to 20 in a wild card game at Lumen Field, Seattle, Washington. January 9th, 2021. I hope Sidham's got it. All right, brother. The Seattle Seahawks are not universally undefeated in playoffs at Lumen Stadium, but they did score a dominant 41 to 6 divisional round. I got you, brother. I got you. Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. All right, before you go, white boy. Hold on. Before you go, white boy, I want to say this because I want to prove to you that this is an NFL channel, and all videos know this. C. Wright knows this, and Bryce knows it because I've said it multiple times. I love the Patriots head coach. I love Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel is one of my favorite head coaches in the NFL. Has been since he was with Tennessee. Loved him there. Drake May, a great quarterback coming out of the 2024 draft class. I think he's great. Mike McDaniels, or Josh McDaniels, I'm sorry, one of the best offensive coordinators in the NFL. Horrible head coach, but one of the best offensive coordinators in the NFL. They are building something great in New England, and I've said that all year. They are building something great. That's why I say I'm a football channel because I study all the teams. They're building something great in New England. This is going to be a tough game, both sides. I don't see it being a blowout either way. I think whoever wins this game wins by 3. I think it could be 2017, 23-20. I think whoever wins this game, it's going to be by 3 because these defenses are going to shut each other down. All right, brother. Okay. Well, hopefully I'll see you on. Hopefully I'll see you on Monday. Well, hopefully I see you on. If hold up. If I hold up because hold up. Here he goes. If I have power, right? If I have power and internet, I'm going to be live during the game again because of where I live in Texas, and we're supposed to get close to an inch of ice over the next 24 to 48 hours. If I have power and internet, I will be live streaming my reaction watching the games because, again, I want to watch it in my living room with my 85-inch TV. So hopefully I'll see you guys there. All right, have a great one, man. Be safe, and wherever you're at, please watch this storm. Yeah, bro. Wow, Bryce. Wow. I have never heard Bryce do that. Wow. Bryce. Oh my gosh, I think I'm gonna have wow. Bryce. Oh, I think oh my heart. I'm coming, Elizabeth. I'm coming. Sorry, wife. Well, I've never we have never heard Bryce do that. Hey, white boy, man. I'm sorry about that, brother. I'm not whatever. I'm sorry, white boy. No, I'm good. I don't know. Hey, white boy, you're good, brother. You didn't do anything. Hold on, Bryce. I get it. You were trying to ask a question. We got to try to be respectful. I'm sorry, white boy. You're more than welcome to come back up anytime you want to, brother. I know we talk over each other and everything, and we do. Our tempers do get up, and I apologize as the host of this channel, man. I do apologize, man. It's my channel. We weren't laughing at you, white boy. We were actually laughing at Bryce. And the reason why we were laughing at Bryce is because everybody who's been on this panel with Bryce has never heard Bryce lose his temper. Really? Where does that say that? Okay. Oh, man. All right, white boy. Thank you for coming up, man. And if you're not a follower, I would greatly appreciate you hit that follow button. Let me ask you a question before you hold on, white boy. Let me ask you a question before you go real quick. Where are you at? You don't have to tell me town, just the state. Where are you at? Okay, so if your service is bad, I wonder if it's because of the storm. Because Quentin just says he keeps losing service, and I think he's in the path of the storm as well. So I'm just trying to figure out. So again, I know you got to go to work. Please be safe, brother. The storm is headed your way. Please watch the news and everything. And I hope you guys are safe. Know that I'll be praying for everybody out there, man. I really will. You too, brother. Good luck, man. All right, Bills Mafia, you can go ahead with what you were saying. Word of what? What are we? Okay, word of what? That's what I'm trying to get at. Poet, it could be. It really could. Do you think David Montgomery or AJ get traded? Well, David Montgomery once gone, and AJ most likely is gone. I think it's going to be great. And, well, I'm gonna say the two turnovers, one at the end of the half and the one to begin the third quarter. But if we really want to be honest, what really sucked the momentum out of that game for Buffalo Bills was when Cook fumbled when you guys were about to go up 14-3. That is what really hurt. No, not in that game. No, there was no block kick. Now, okay, if we're gonna say it's a catch, all right, I've already done a bunch of videos about how it wasn't a catch, but this is what I'm gonna say. It should have never got down to that point because if the refs would have called the holding in the end zone against the Buffalo Bills to start that drive, the game would have been over. It would have been over. Broncos would have won by 2, and Bo Nix would not have got hurt. And they still say we would lose. So I'm just gonna put that out there. They would still say we're gonna unlose. Be safe yourself, Quentin. Look, this game needs to be low scoring. It does. Ethan, you're right. It needs to be low scoring. Sticks, the Broncos do have a good defense. I'll agree with that one. Okay, so the deal is of what we're talking about CJ real quick. Sorry to talk over you, Bryce, but the deal about CJ, since everybody brought him up, there is a theory that, and I don't know if it's true, and I doubt we'll ever find out the truth, that with that concussion, he never was quite over the concussion when he came back. That is what a lot of people are saying. They, Right, he really declined. Right, he's really declined after that rookie season, and I said going into that game against the Patriots, in order for the Texans to win, C.J. Stroud didn't need to play the game to win it. He needed to play not to lose it, and he didn't do either one. No, it was on Stroud. It was 100% on Stroud when he threw that pick six. When he threw that pick six, he should have taken the sack. So, save the protect the ball, let the play another down, because I'm watching that play and he has a crosser that's going to be his outlet to the left. And as soon as the ball is snapped, that left tackle backs up, that crosser trips, and I'm like, he's about to throw an interception. And I'm sitting here going like, don't throw it, don't throw it, don't throw it, don't throw it. And he throws it right where the crosser was supposed to be. But again, the crosser is laying down on the ground. And that's why it was a pick six the other way, because the defender's like, wow, I guess he thought I played for the Texans. Because he did not hold the ball. If he hold the ball, took the sack, you live down and punt the ball away. But that was a huge momentum shift. The Texans defense could only do so much, right? They caused what? Four fumbles, recovered two, 4 or 5 fumbles, recovered two. And the Texans defense could only do so much. Again, I don't count the interception, so I'm not even going to put that stat out there. The Texans defense could only do so much. But CJ Stroud was off that entire game. He was missing receivers. He was either throwing too short, too low, too wide. He was not hitting his wide receivers where they needed to, where it needed to be. And he was not playing protection with that football. He did the same thing, right? He did the same thing. He did the same thing. I'm not gonna say the pass rush was so good, Ethan. I'm gonna equate that. Yeah, your pass rush was good, but it was, in my opinion, it was more on CJ. And I like CJ Stroud. Maybe I don't even want to say it because I don't even know if bringing in another offensive coordinator would help. And then on top of that, the Texans are now in a critical moment next year because, yes, you still have that fifth-year option that they're going to enact on C.J. Stroud. But the problem is if he gets into his fifth year, that fifth-year option is 100% guaranteed money. And next year is the last year of his rookie deal. Do we sign him for 50 million or do we try to be like, okay, we tried it, it didn't work, we got to go with somebody else? Underdog, I don't have an opening, brother. If I did, I'd bring you up. I think so. I think I do. What's up, Josh Allen fans? No, it was last year. It was it was Caleb Williams' rookie year. All right, brother. You be safe as well. And keep an eye on the storm. And good luck on Friday. We work, brother. That was last year. You all right? All videos. You have a good one, brother. What's up, underdog? Actually, no, I don't, underdog. What fan are you of? All right. That would be absolutely wild, but we're talking about two totally different coaches and general managers there. I doubt it because you would have to trade for Stidham, right? Osweiler was a free agent. Stiddy is still under contract, so you would have to trade. I doubt it. A lot of people are putting this game on Stiddy. It's really not, in my opinion. I did a video about it this morning. I feel it's more on the offensive line. The offensive line is going to have to block good. They're going to have to open up the run lanes to allow our running game to at least do something and take that pressure off. Mac Jones, if Mac Jones goes anywhere, Taylor, somebody's going to have to trade for him because he's still under contract with the 49ers. No, I've not been to any games this year, brother. you know, I No, it wasn't me. My wife and I are going on a stadium tour starting next year. So I will, let everybody know where we're going and when we'll be there. Because we want to experience all the tailgate parties. So when we do that, and I let everybody know when we're going to be where, if y'all want to come out and meet me, absolutely, I would love it. They got to bring it again this weekend. Because you want your crowd to be the loudest. It's what you're supposed to do. Again, the crowd is going to have to be a big factor in this game, like they were against Buffalo. The Right. See the because your see that's what's funny because my wife didn't know that either. That if you're a season ticket holder, that does not count for playoff games at all. You got to buy them. You're just first. You're the ones that they ask first. You get first dibs. So and every pro team does it. Seattle's doing it. The only reason why they're bringing it up for the Broncos and not Seattle is because I'm sorry to say, Patriots fans are whining about it. They are. Oh yeah, I watched the Natty. That Miami offense couldn't do anything in the first half. That Miami offense in the first half absolutely disappointed me. I knew that Miami defense was going to get after for Mendoza. I knew they were going to really shut down the Indiana offense. But when you're again, let's look at the national championship game and let's look at the Texans and Patriots game. Your defense can do a ball out all game long. But if your offense ain't doing jack crap, you're not winning. You're not winning. That's what happened. So look at it. The Miami offense had a block punt return for a touchdown. The Texans offense had a pick six return for a touchdown. You see the similarities here. Miami's defense absolutely balled out. Miami's offense could not do anything in the first half. Texans offense could not do anything in the first half except turn the ball over. No, no, no. It's the same. The Indiana crowd was bigger than Miami. Yeah, that was bad. But yeah, that Miami offense would I'll tell you this, Carson Beck, if he does not come out and have a phenomenal, and I mean light the world on fire kind of combine, that dude ain't gonna get drafted till about the fifth round. I mean, yes, sir. Ah, you're good, Bryce. You too, Bryce. I know you're yeah, it's raining here too. All right, Bryce. Please stay safe, brother. Keep an eye on that forecast and everything. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, and they got it last week. We're gonna need it again this week. Now, it's gonna suck if I can. No, no, not if you did. Not if you didn't leave right now. You're not. Not with everything supposedly shutting down tonight. Depending on where you're at, like I'm in East Texas. I'm like in way East Texas, Northeast Texas. Oh, dude, you're about to get ice, snow, and everything. Yeah, we're gonna get ice over here in Longview. We're gonna get ice and possibly some snow, but they're saying we could get up to an inch of ice over the next 24 to 48 hours. Yeah. And hey, Josh Allen fan, brother, how hold on, how old are you? All right, brother. I'm sorry. I have to drop you because you have to be 18 or older, but I will answer your question. It is going to be in Denver. I'm sorry. Anybody under the age of 18 cannot be in the lives. They cannot be in the panels of the lives. They can be in the comment section, but not the panels, brother. So I'm so sorry. But it will be in Denver. Yes, that is one thing, guys. If you hold a live, if you ever decide to host a live, if they are not over 18 in your panel, you have to drop them, or you will get you. So, what's up, Martin? I know, brother. I know. I do too, man. I mean, it's like I told my wife: we win, we win. We don't. We weren't supposed to be here. We weren't supposed to be here. All I said, well, all I said, brother, all I said was I did not want us to be one and done. I did not want us to be one and done. Now, going into this year, I had said that I wanted a Super Bowl that either the teams had never been or never won a Super Bowl, or one that we have never had. Well, two of my options are gone because all four teams have been to a Super Bowl. All four teams have won a Super Bowl. The only option I have left is a Super Bowl that has never happened, and that would be the Rams and the Broncos. Yeah, because if it's Rams and the Seahawks, my son-in-law is going to give me so much shit the entire 2 weeks. Pat's, hey Zach, let's calm down on that Pat's Dynasty 2.0 for a little bit. That's another thing, man, with Patriots fans. Let's dial back on that Pat's Dynasty 2.0 until Drake May gets like until Drake May gets three Super Bowl rings. Let's dial that back just a little bit. Come on, get that foot off that pedal because you ain't. There is no way we're comparing Drake May to Tom Brady. And if you say that, no. No, No, let's dial that back just a little bit. Yeah, I was. I mean, it was. I mean, the Packers losing, the Eagles losing. Um, it, AJ Brown gave up. AJ, let's be honest. AJ Brown gave up. He doesn't want to be. That's why when everybody's like, should the Broncos get AJ Brown? No, no, they should not. Because I am not want to bring in a player that will give up on his team when he throws a fit. I don't want it. I absolutely don't. Yep, yep. And I don't want that. Now, I will say the Broncos do need to go after a couple wide receivers next year. I said the same thing this year that that was the weakest area of our offense, and I've been proven right. Even though everybody's like, yeah, I was right. And so, but Mims is not a starting wide receiver. I don't count Mims. He is. He's a solid player, but he's more of a return specialist, right? So, Duck Bears. Uh, no, no. I'm hoping we get. I'm looking at. I'm looking at David Njoku out of Cleveland. Yeah, yeah. That's the same thing. Yeah, there you go. Money, and if they might just release him because they've got two good tight ends behind him and a rookie. So yeah, no, I think no, 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 no. I would. Who are the wide receiver picks for Denver? Armchair. Who are my wide receiver picks? Well, I wouldn't mind Garrett Wilson out of um, New York if they release him. I would even be good with Pickens out of Dallas if they're not able to resign him. But again, you still got that. You know, when he don't get whatever, he kind of sulks. I would be good with Waddle out of Miami because it seems like Miami is going to be in a retool, especially if they get rid of Tua Tagovailoa. So there are a bunch out there, but again, I don't want AJ Brown. I mean, if Coleman gets released by the Bills, I would be okay with that. Yeah, that was an absolutely disastrous press conference for the Buffalo Bills. He did absolutely. Now think about that. You're a head coach, right? You're a head coach looking for a job, and you watch that press conference. Do you want to have that hanging over your head? Ownership. Yep. And the Bills just. No, that press conference. They're saying that Josh Allen might want to get traded after that. I mean, your owner just they were putting they were putting the entire blame. They were putting the entire blame on this on Sean McDermott. Now, I did say going into this year that if the Bills did not win the Super Bowl, not go to the AFC Championship and win it, not go to the Super Bowl and lose it, but if they did not win the Super Bowl, that the ownership up there was going to fire McDermott because he was going to be their scapegoat. And I was 100% correct. And the reason why is that wonderful general manager, what's his name, Brian Bean, oh Beanie Boy, his draft picks and his roster building has been absolute dog crap. But they weren't going to blame him. They were going to push the blame on McDermott. Are we going WWF wrestler or WWE wrestler? I'll debate that all day long, Wade. I love WWE, WWF. Attitude Era. Attitude Era is better. I'm old school. Eh, the problem is the general manager. The the problem is the Bills general manager. I have been saying it last year and all this year. People who have been on this channel all year long have heard me say it. Josh Allen has no true number one wide receiver threat. When you don't have a number one wide receiver threat, the defense you go up against can be more spread out. They don't have to shift the defense over. They don't have to play double coverage. They could just play your basic package defense. Twice. And right after halftime. It would hurt. It really would hurt Broncos in Seattle for the Super Bowl. It really would hurt. But go ahead. I got you, brother. Go ahead. What were you saying about Josh Allen? Well, you're not going to hold a $330 million quarterback accountable. Do the Dallas Cowboys hold Dak Prescott accountable? No, he's a $240 million quarterback. Do the Cincinnati Bengals hold Joe Burrow accountable? Do the Ravens hold Lamar Jackson accountable? Their fan bases do, but when you're paying these quarterbacks that kind of money, you don't hold them accountable. Did the Miami Dolphins hold Tua accountable last year? No. It doesn't work that way. That's the NFL. The quarterbacks and their agents have too much power. When they allowed that CBA to come out, they gave the players too much power. You want to know why there's so many injuries? It's because of the CBA. You want to know why there's so many holdouts? It's because of the CBA. You want to know why there's so many players quitting on their teams? It's because of the CBA, the collective bargaining agreement. When you read that, by the way, don't do it because you're going to be like, whoever came up with this needs to go back and learn how to write a book. Because it is a book. But when you're in this thing and it tells you, oh, this section is in, you're at page 20 and it tells you to jump to page 200 to read another part of it. And at the bottom of it, it tells you to jump back to page 2 to finish it. And then when you're done with that, you got to go back to page 150 to get the full story. But according to the CBA, these players have dictated how they want to practice, when they want to practice, and how long they want to practice. Because they put out the thing of, well, we can do this on our own. We're grown men. We can do this in the offseason. What do you think the fraction of players in the NFL actually practices and everything throughout the offseason? 20%? I'm going to say about 20, 30%. That's why you get Achilles blown. How many, look at the drop passes we've had this year, right? The Jacksonville Jaguars had over 40. The Denver Broncos had close to 40. The Kansas City Chiefs had close to 30 drop passes this year. 30. And you're going to tell me that's because of Patrick Mahomes? You're going to say, oh, that's Mahomes' fault? Because, they're blaming Trevor Lawrence and Bo Nix. But when you go to that number 3, which is Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs that almost had 30 drop passes in the NFL, you're going to put the blame on Patrick Mahomes. What person in their right mind to go, wow, Patrick Mahomes is a horrible quarterback. Look at all these drop passes. He wasn't throwing them to where his wide receivers can get them. No, it's because of how practice is. It's because in practice, a defensive back cannot impede a wide receiver's ability to catch the ball. But in a game, that cornerback is going to impede the wide receiver's ability to catch that ball. Yes. I tell you, man, read the CBA. It is very, very difficult to understand, but oh, there you go, Brandon Ayuk. Look at another player to look at, Trey Hendrickson. Trey Hendrickson of the Cleveland Browns. Complained, bitched, moaned about the contract extension. So what did the Bengals do? They gave him a 1-year bonus of up to $30 million. He got paid $30 million this year. How much did Trey Hendrickson play? There you go. Yeah, I get it, my love. They are based off of old style football that we grow up watching. The players have too much power. They get paid too much money, and they know that they control what happens. Not the head coach. The NIL deal is absolutely horrible in college. It is. Why do you think Saban quit coaching? Everybody's like, oh, he was out of his time. No, he was tired of the transfer portal and the NIL deals because now you're giving these kids so much money and so much power that you try to build a team. And right when you're about to go, oh, no, I don't want to play here because they're going to offer me another $1 million than what you're going to offer me. Okay, let me ask you this question. All right, and this is what I always equate it to. You get a job, right? Say you get a management job. You get paid 150, 250,000 a year for that management job. Once you got there, are you going to perform your best, or are you just going to perform to whatever because you got that job? Are you going to prove to the guys that just handed you a $250,000 a year job you're worth that money, or are you just going to go, hey, I made it here, I'm just going to do what I'm going to do? So when we look at these NFL players, right? Cool, you got to the NFL. I never did, but you did. Why are we getting these players in the NFL that don't continue to perfect their craft? They get there and go, well, I'm in the NFL. I don't need to do anymore. I'm making my money. I'm doing this. Instead of getting in the game and being like Tom Brady, being like Peyton Manning, and becoming better, becoming more efficient, studying the game, doing what you got to do. A key point, look at Kyler Murray in Arizona. Has Kyler Murray done anything in the NFL to improve his play? Thank you, Andrew. Yes, I do. Thank you for that, John. I appreciate that. But it's not you. You don't deserve to go anywhere, right? Okay, I just got a question on my other chat. He goes, he's a Patriots fan. I'm gonna be honest. We don't deserve to go to the Super Bowl again at so soon. I'm very sorry about what happened to Bo Nix. No team deserves to go to the Super Bowl. You don't deserve shit in this league. You have to earn it. So if the Patriots win, as long as, again, as long as this guy right here does not determine the outcome of either games, whoever wins, you earned the right to go. You don't deserve shit in this league. And that goes back again to players. You don't deserve to be here. Bless you, by the way. You've earned your right. Now you have to prove you can still be here. Exactly. The party. You have to. You. All right, brother. Thank you for coming up, man. I appreciate it. Thank you, brother. The Bears. My dad wanted you guys to win so bad because he remembers the '85 Bears. He remembers, Dick Butkus. I actually got to meet Dick Butkus in real life, one of the nicest football players I've ever met in my life. He was the nicest man you would have ever. I actually met him in Las Vegas. He was at Caesar Palace doing at a memorabilia store doing a meet and greet, and I just walked in there and look who's standing right in front of me is Dick Butkus, and he sat there and talked with me for 30 minutes to an hour just about football, just talking. He wasn't Dick Butkus, and I wasn't a nobody. I wasn't a nobody. We were just two fans talking about football. The nicest guy you would ever meet, man. It hurt me the day I found out he passed away. What's that? No, he played for the Bears. He, just the Bears. And yeah, but off the field, on the field, you didn't want to get hit by him. Off the field, dude would have given you the shirt off his back, no problem. I will go Birds, Eagles. I will not use not having Bo Nix as an excuse. We lose, we lose. You are a backup. Let's make this perfectly clear. You are a backup in the NFL. That means you are still good enough to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. If you're the backup, not the number 3, the number 4, you are the backup. That means that at any point in time during the season, you are going to be the starter with an injury. So that means you have to be good enough. So if we go out and and we lose, we lose. There's no excuse. I don't like the if this guy wasn't hurt, that guy wasn't hurt, we would have won. No, it's the next man up. All 53 players on that team are good enough to be in the NFL. If you are good enough to be in the NFL, that means at any given time you need to be able to come in and win. I'm not good enough to be in the NFL. Well, number one, physically, I'm not. I've got so many injuries wrong with me. I mean, I got a neck break. But if you are a backup, in the NFL, that means you are good enough to be in the NFL. And I will not use that excuse at all. The better team will win, right? The better team won. Again, I'm going to state it. As long as our MVP right here does not, cause the outcome of the game. As long as the MVP of the NFL right here does not cause, the winner of either one of the games, that's all you need to know, right? Everybody asks me, who's the MVP of the league? Our buddy right here. Our buddy right here. So, I am not making no excuse, Connor. No, I'm just saying, okay, let me say this. Say the Pats are marching down, right? The Patriots are marching down to get a game-winning field goal. There's 15 seconds left, right? Great ball. You're at your 40. Drake May throws this beautiful pass down there to the 30-yard line. Clock is ticking, tick, 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 tick. Right? You get down there, you're about to spike the ball, but you notice that the clock stopped, and this little guy's there behind you, and they call a holding penalty on you. They call a holding penalty on the Patriots. You got to bring that ball all the way back. You don't get that clock back, right? You don't get that time back. So now you got to bring all the way back. Now you're at the 30 with 7 seconds, and you have no timeouts. Are you not going to? And you look at it and you go, that wasn't a holding call, right? That wasn't holding. That was a cheap-ass call. You're going to tell me as a Patriots fan, you're not going to blame this guy right here? You're not going to blame this guy right here? No, I don't want what I'm trying to say is I don't want the officials to dictate this game. That is what I'm trying to say. That's why I call him the MVP of the league. Did we have have him. We don't have him. Again, if you're good enough to be a backup in the NFL, that means you're good enough to play. If I'll tell you this, if there is a crappy call, you can mark it down right now because I've done it multiple times. If there is a call that is called for the Broncos to win this game that should not have been called, I will be on here and go, the Patriots got screwed. Because I don't care. Either way, I don't want the officials to blow it for the Patriots. I don't want them to blow it for the Broncos. I don't want them to blow it for the Rams. And I don't want them to blow it for the Seahawks. I get it. I get it. Nobody thinks we have a chance. Yesterday, so on Wednesday, we were 5.5 point favorites. Or 5.5 point underdogs. Yesterday we were 4.5 point underdogs. Today we've gone back up to 5.5 point underdogs. 5.5 point underdogs. Technically, we're 8.5 because you got to give the 3 points to the home team, but they don't count that in on the stat sheet. But technically, we're 8.5 point underdogs because you give the home team 3 points. So when you look at it and they say the Broncos are 5.5 point underdogs, technically they're saying they're 8.5 point underdogs, but we're giving you 3 points because you're the home team. So, yeah. But again, I just don't want our little MVP to decide any game. I don't want it to decide the NFC Championship game, and I do not want it to decide the AFC Championship game because then that would take away from the game. Unless it is the most egregious penalty you have ever seen in your life. Go ahead. What's up, brother? I'm pretty good, Go Birds. How are you? They're still in a neck brace, but hey, I get to take it off every once in a while to have a break. They're slowly, letting me take it off to get my neck stronger. So for the next couple weeks, no, it should have never been thrown. I was absolutely livid. Exactly. Oh, I could name about. I know what they did was bad. I wish they would have kept him as well. Again, I'm answering that. Yeah, I got you, Go Birds. I've been a Broncos fan for 37 years. Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're saying. I remember Steve Atwater. What's up, my brother? Thank you, Go Birds. I appreciate it. All right. Okay. Okay. It was not a catch. It was an interception. Per the NFL rules, it does not matter if you catch the ball tagged and down. You have to survive the contact with the ground in order to be a catch. Let's take the defender away for a minute. Let let's take the that Calvin Johnson rule. Let's take the defender away real quick, right? Say he's not even there. Once he caught that ball, hit the ground. Oh no! We're gonna do it both ways. And he hits the ground, and the ball comes out. It's an incompletion. Now put the defender back. Say the defender is, he catches the ball. He's going down. The ball, once he hits the ground, the ball comes out. Nobody has possession of it. It is still an incompletion. The reason why it was an interception was technically, I say a fumble, but an interception is when he hit the ground. He has to survive the ground. The ball comes off his chest. He loses possession, and the Bronco player gets the ball with full possession. That is what the rules say. Trying to. That's funny, Clinton. Well, what they're saying, my opinion, is if he doesn't get that job, he's going to be their offensive coordinator. Hold on, Apostle. Somebody had a question before you. What was that question? Was it, hey, dog, was it you that had a question for me? Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. 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 Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. 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 No, he doesn't, but go ahead. All right. So, okay. Hold on. I've got the answer. Devonte Adam Devonte Adam had full possession. Had full possession of the ball. Had full possession of the ball. Made a football move. That's the key factor here that you're leaving out. Devonte Adams caught the ball with full possession, making a football move. Then going down with possession, knee down, ball comes out. If you look at the Cooks play, he did not make a football move and maintain full possession. Because he caught the ball. It wasn't a toe tap on the side. This was the one in the middle. Yes, it was. Yeah, you're talking about a way different catch. All right, Martin, brother. Thank you. Hey, Apostle, what was your question? All right, I got you. I got you. But guys, I am gonna get. Go ahead. What's your question, Blake? 40, 42 and a half. Yeah, they got it at 42 and a half, and they've got the Seahawks Rams 46 and a half. They have Seattle 2.5 point favorites and the Patriots 5.5 point favorites. All right, guys, I am going to call it a day. I've been at this for over 2 hours and I have to go take medicine. The Broncos are underdogs. Connor, I was going to ask you your final thoughts. The Broncos are underdogs and the Rams are underdogs in these two games. So I'm going to call it a day. I hope I have power and everything on Sunday so I can go on live on my phone for the reaction of the game. I love you too, mamas. Go Birds. What is your final thoughts of the day? All right, Blake, final thoughts of the day. All right, the dog, final thoughts of the day. There we. All right, Apostle, final thoughts of the day. All right, David, final thoughts of the day. All right, Bryce, final thoughts of the day. All right, guys. I hope you all have a great rest of your Friday. And please keep an eye on this storm wherever you are. Blake, I know you and I are both in East Texas. Please keep going on. I will be. Oh, he said, you absolutely, Blake, need to follow this storm because you're going to get more snow than us. If I have power and internet, if I have power and internet on Sunday, I will be streaming me watching the game because again, I want to watch it out in my living room with my 85-inch TV and all that. So again, please, guys, see, there we go. Guys, please keep an eye on this storm wherever you are. Make sure, watch for power outages. If you have a fireplace, make sure it's clean, ready to go. You got plenty of wood, plenty of water if we lose water. I hope you guys are safe and know that I will be praying for every single one of you guys because I appreciate it, man. You guys know that if it wasn't for you, this channel wouldn't be going anywhere at all. I love you guys. My family loves you guys. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Please watch the storm and let's have a good weekend of football. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.